What's going on, guys? Your man Sadiq. Welcome to the network. Today, I have a special guest on the platform, Christian Vargas. If you guys don't know Christian, if you're not a local individual who's doing their thing in the game of real estate, you're not gonna know who this individual is. But you are gonna get to know this individual today. This dude, I would consider him a powerhouse, right? He's fresh in the game, but he's smacking it. Like the dude's all about the new construction game, and he's just killing it. He rubs shoulders with the right people. His connection is massive, and like I said, he's just a young cat doing it. And this right here for all y'all young individuals that's looking to create or establish some type of generational wealth for yourself, this is where you're actually going to listen and watch someone who's young, just like you, who's going to drop game to you guys from his background to how he got to where he's at and where he's headed. All right, so enough from my mouth, but now it's time for Christian Vargas to introduce himself and let the people know who he is and what he does. Let's go.
Sadiq, how's it going, bro?
What's going on, baby?
Thank you
Thank
for
you.
having me on.
No, thank you for hopping onto the platform, the network. Truly appreciate that.
Absolutely, bro. You have good energy, by the way, bro.
No, I
It's just
appreciate it,
like,
man.
it feels good just to sit here and like be part of this. So
Appreciate
appreciate
that.
that, bro.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, man. I'm just, my name is Christian Vargas. I run Method Investment Group and Elite Property Solutions. It's two companies, and basically what we focus on right now heavily is new construction development, and that's pretty much what we do.
What is your cultural background? Yeah, what is your cultural background? Tell the people,
Bro,
talk to the people.
so a lot of people think I might be Asian because of my eyes, but I'm not Asian. You know what I'm saying? So I'm Guatemalan, a
All right.
full-blooded Guatemalan. My parents, they both came from Guatemala, came to this country. My dad has always been a hard worker, and he instilled that into us at a very young age. So, 7 years old, like I was hanging drywall and stuff like that, like 8 years old, So that's something like that I'm very grateful to have him, as a role model. So that's where I feel like I get my background in like just working hard.
Are you a first generation immigrant?
Yeah.
Nice,
Yep.
nice. So you stated that you were hanging up plywalls or
Drywall.
drywall. Sorry
Yep.
about that. Very young age. Now, was your father a contractor?
So my father wasn't a contractor, but he was always a hard worker. He was a cook, a chef
Gotcha.
for at an Italian restaurant for like 25 years, and then he saved up enough money. He actually told me this story not too long ago, which is just
That's
crazy. So
dope.
he was just like, I just had a vision to like, buy my house, and I didn't know how I was gonna do it, but I just saved, and then he had a setback where like it was just a crazy story. You know
Mm.
what I mean? Like, I'll tell it, fuck it, because
Yeah, let's go. People want to hear that.
so he was saving up money, and my mom, they were together at the time, and like he gave it to my mom to like put it away, and she put it like to hide it because we didn't live in a great area. She put it in a diaper,
Mm.
threw it under the bed, basically, just like just so it seemed like it was nothing. I don't know. 2 months passed, and she forgot. So then she like cleaned up or was cleaning up or whatever, and she threw it away. There was twenty
Get
thousand
out of
dollars
here.
there. Yeah.
Damn, for real.
20 G's,
Oh, I would
bro.
have been tight.
Yo, hell yeah. I was like, damn, dog, what'd you do? He's
Yeah.
like, what could I do? He's like, yo.
True.
So, that was just a setback. And I was like, wow, like that's crazy. But he didn't give up. Again, he just worked hard, saved his money. And they tried to look for it, but that thing was gone.
That was
It
cool.
was gone. So it was just a crazy story. And so saved up enough money, bought his first house. It was a three family, and he paid one person to basically come in and renovate the second floor,
Yeah.
and then the rest he learned just from watching them, and then he's like, all right, we're gonna do the other two. So
Right.
me and him, like, just me seven, just dude, you know how heavy drywall is, like when I'm 8 years
7
old.
years old. Try to carry
Yeah.
that drywall.
For real, you're getting up like, so early on a
Yeah.
Saturday morning, like I wanted to sleep, but I'm just very grateful for those moments. And then now looking back, right? Because at the time it was just like, nah, not it. But yeah, and first generation, bro. I grew up in Providence. I grew up in Providence. There's a lot of where we come from, like you could get involved with the wrong crowd and stuff like that
100%.
easily, and get influenced. But I feel like my core values always stuck with me no matter what. You know what I mean? No matter what phase I was in life, I always believed in God. I always believed in just like doing the right thing at least. You know what I'm saying? Like holding your principles to you. You know, and I think that that's very key even today, um, to make sure that you hold on to those. You know.
Let me ask you this, right? Um, what was your household experience like? Because you you mentioned about growing up in the city of Providence, and we all have different households. You know, for some it could be a lot harsher than others. You
Hmm.
know, what was your household like, and what experiences have you learned from growing up in your household?
You know, I definitely did not have the traditional upbringing. Like I said, when my mom and dad were together, and she left when I was 7. My dad raised 3 kids on his own for some years,
Wow.
and it was not easy. From babysitter to babysitter, my dad was working a lot and stuff like that. So we never had a place to really call home, you know. So it was just it was a crazy time being so young, but we just went through it. We thought it was part of life, I
Yeah.
guess, So years later, my father met an individual, and he married her, and basically like it was just after like 3 or 4 months, my dad was always working, and this person like basically like just abused us and tortured us in a way
Man.
for like 3 years, 3.5 years, until, thank God, right? Most people don't thank God for getting DCYF involved,
Yeah.
but thank God we got taken out of that situation and put in foster homes. And so that was at 15. My brother and sister are, my sister's 3 years younger than me. My brother's 3 years younger than her, and we all got taken away. And that was the start of a whole new book in my life,
Mm.
and I'm sure in theirs too. And it was just crazy because I was a church kid, still believed in God and all that, and I still do today. But sometimes, like at that time, I was like, why is all this happening, right? Like, we, like, it was just like, 3 years of that, like, and I mean movie stuff, Netflix stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I mean. Like, coming home, getting on your knees, putting your hands up for hours, and if you put them down, you'd get beat on.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's the reality of it. Like, it wasn't normal at all. And so, even just talking about this, shakes you up a little bit. But it's part of our past. It makes us who we are today. I'm not saying this to be a victim. I'm saying this that you can go through this stuff and still come out and prove everyone wrong.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm saying? And just do it for yourself. Not even so much about proving other people wrong anymore. It's about proving yourself right.
100%.
So um, that was a crazy time. And from that point on, I was, what, 15 years old when finally my real mom came back into the picture, and she took us out. We were able to go with her, but she couldn't afford a big enough place. So I said I'll go with my father, and then you guys go over here with my mom. And so she took good care of them, and then I ended up going back over there. My dad stayed with her, just certain reasons, but um it wasn't gonna work out. And I was already old enough, and I was in a group home.
Yeah.
Like, at this point I was changed.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, even in the group home, that's where like my entrepreneur stuff came from. You know what I mean? Because like I got introduced to weed there, and I had some money because I always worked.
Yeah.
I was working as a dishwasher when I was 13 at Nathaniel Green Middle School,
I
like
went to
taking the.
I went to Nathaniel
You
Green.
went to Nathaniel
Shout out
Green?
to Nathaniel Green Middle
Let's
School.
go, bro.
Let's shout out.
I would walk up the hill, take the bus 27, go all the way down to Smith. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Go all the way down to Johnston, walk like a mile to get to the Little Inn,
Yeah.
and that's where I worked Friday, Saturdays. And then I became a bus boy, which I suggest anyone that wants to gain some skills with like talking to people, or like that quick interaction, and just meeting people, go get a job at a restaurant,
Mm.
become a bus boy. Like, if you have to start off as a dishwasher, do that, work your way up, become a busboy, because you start meeting people, greeting people, and like I see some busboys nowadays, and I'm like, damn, like if I was him, I would have got to know me. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, or just
Yeah.
anybody. Like,
Uh,
you know what I'm saying? Because like literally, like even till today, I talk to absolutely everyone,
you have to.
everyone from like if I'm walking into a big building, I'm talking to the janitor, I'm talking to that person, the receptionist, I'm talking to
You
the
have to touch
CEO,
everybody.
everyone, because it's crazy. Like looking back now, I have people that I've met just on a quick fly that followed me on Instagram. I get everyone's Instagram. They're like, "Hey, my uncle's selling a house. Is there anything you could do like for us? Like,
Mm.
you know, like." And then we just get a connection, and then next thing you know, literally a deal happens out of that.
Mm.
And like you're able to solve someone's problem. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So that's key and important right there. So I got off topic a little bit, but
Nah, you didn't.
um, you know, basically, bro, I ended up homeless after a while, and then I ended up dropping out of high school, and I was at a very low point of my life that I literally thought that I would not make it past 20 years old. I never joined the gang, but I was with people, you know, and these people, they must have seen something in me, because, you know, like, they didn't, they were like, nah, you can't be joining this stuff. Like, you could chill with us, but we don't want you to join, because this isn't for you, bro. Like, you're meant for other things, you know? So basically, at that point, it was just like I got arrested for the first time, 16 years old. Luckily, it was under 18, you know. And then that's where my whole everything shifted. It was like I got arrested. It was weed. I had a lot of weed on me, and you know, it was just like possession.
Yeah.
So brought to the police station. Man, those are the longest 2 hours of my life. Like, you know, just sitting there, like, you know, it was cold
Yeah.
too, bro. It's cold.
I'll never forget them benches.
Yo, it's crazy. It's cold. And so I remember doing push-ups, like, you know what I'm saying? Just to try to keep
Yeah.
warm. And then there was one thing that the guy, like, I was very respectful towards everyone. I always had, like, a level of respect for everyone.
Yeah.
So even in there, like, the guy was taking my fingerprints because I was so, like, hey, thank you, appreciate that, you know, whatever. I was still having I was still being good about the situation. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? You can sense energy.
Of course.
So this person was like, you know, you're getting your fingerprints taken right now, but you're 16. You can literally change your life around. You could, once you become 18, this goes away, and you could become the president of the United States if you want to. And like that just stuck with me, you know. And then like my father got called because I was a minor. I hadn't seen him in like 2 months,
Hmm.
and imagine like this is the first time I'm seeing him. And so we're driving in the car. He's not even saying much.
Hmm.
Like, he's not even saying nothing actually. And like that's a very quiet drive with
Yeah.
no music. You know what I'm
You don't
saying?
even know what he's thinking.
Yeah, you know. So it's like I'm thinking now, I'm like, I need to change my life around. Like, I need to do something different. Like, there's all these people, my whole family, everyone doubting me. Like, this kid's gonna end up a drug addict. This kid's gonna end up just like not doing anything with his life. Um, Even it got back to Guatemala. All them people knew. I'm like, oh, yo, it's crazy, bro. Like, you know, everyone was doubting, but I literally just had that shift right then and there. And I decided to just be better and just like prove everyone wrong. At the time it was about proving everyone wrong. It wasn't just about proving myself right like I operate now. So I ended up just getting a 40-hour job. I worked there at a warehouse, $9 an hour, 1 hour to get there, 1 hour for break, and then 1 hour to get back. And you didn't get paid for break,
Yeah.
which was
Of
crazy.
course.
That's a lot of hours
Yeah.
to be getting paid $9 an hour for. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So I was there for 6 months, and then they told us to pick up some like 150-pound piece of plate between like a couple guys, and it was just like I'm not doing that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Give us some equipment. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like we're not gonna hurt our back. Like so, I stood up to them, and then they fired me.
Mm.
And I feel like that was a turning point. Excuse me. But there's one thing about that. Every job that I had, I always worked hard, and I always was the best that I could be at that job. And let me tell you something. It doesn't matter if you're dropping fries at Wendy's right now, or you're like in a factory or wherever you are. Be the best that you can be and outshine everyone. Like
Yeah.
just by operating at a level that no one else is operating, and then people notice you because there's gonna be an investor one day walking by that is looking to buy another franchise or something like that, and they see you working hard, they see your commitment, they will literally recruit you and be like, I want you to come work for me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that happens, you know? So just when you operate like that, when you operate out of a place like I'm gonna do more than I'm paid for, the universe rewards that and
Yeah.
God rewards that.
Nah, 100%. Nah,
So
nah. I definitely agree with you in so many ways. You know, and from your story to where you landed at, right? Obviously, unfortunately, I was not in a foster care situation, you know, and I'm highly grateful that you came out the way you are, because not a lot of kids come out with a positive mindset or with a positive career path or in a positive outlook out of life, you know. But I do feel you in terms of getting caught up, in terms of street life,
Mm.
not knowing your way, and having to go through all these things in life that got you to where you're at today. But a lot of the things that I've noticed, even for myself, whether I was locked up as a teenager or as a young adult, there was always somebody always giving me a positive, some form of positive encouragement, right?
Mm.
Um, you got this, you could do this, right? Because those were stuff that I never heard in my household. You know what I mean?
Did you
Uh,
grow up here in
I grew
Providence?
up here
Or?
in Providence. You know what
Okay.
I mean? I grew up in Providence all my life.
Yep.
You know, hung on the street, did what I had to do, you know, to survive. Been kicked out the house, lived in the car, lived at my best friend's house, you
Wow.
know, but my parents always took me back in.
Yep.
You know
Yep.
what I mean? Regardless of all the nonsense that I either put myself through or the nonsense that I put them through,
Yep.
you know, they always brought me back in.
That's awesome.
But the thing is that a lot of times, whether you're going through all that, you really, it almost feels like you're going through life alone,
Mm.
you know. And it just happens that as you're going through life, there's certain people that, like I say, encourages you,
Yeah.
and those type of energy are what sticks, you know. And without any positive energy from other individuals, I really feel like sometimes, you know, it could be discouraging,
Yeah.
you know, because
Man.
it can be hard for you to believe in yourself, especially when you're going through mass shit.
A
You
hundred
know, it's
percent.
hard to believe in yourself, but when other people believe in you, it allows you to believe in yourself. But now as an adult, I've realized that you don't need nobody to believe in you but you.
Yes.
You know what I mean? If that makes sense.
Let's go,
You
man.
know, so it's one of those things where I get where you're coming from.
Mm.
The story's real, the story's deep, and I definitely appreciate that. Prior to getting into real estate, Chris, what was your occupation or your profession?
Yep. So, you know, prior to real estate, I was working at Electric Boat, building submarines for the Navy. And the way I got into that was when I got fired from that job, I was like, all right, it's time to go get my GED. I was like, I gotta go get it. So I went to the Providence Skills Center underneath the mall.
Hmm.
There's like a little place
I
over there.
remember. Yeah.
Yep. And I just, again, just tried my very best. And they seen that an opportunity came up to get an internship at Electric Boat. When they told me about it, I'm like, well, what is that? What do they do?
Yeah.
They were like, oh, they build submarines for the Navy. I was like, what? I was like, where do I sign up? Like, let's do it right
Yeah.
now, you know? So signed up. I was so excited. I remember going outside and being like, God, like, please, like, I feel like this is like an opportunity for me. Like, please help me land this. And then, like, I just, like, literally just on my way home, I just, like, talked positive about, like, I'm going to land it. I'm
Mm.
going to land it. Like, that's very crucial and important, like, to, like, just like proclaim stuff
Yeah.
and put it out there in the universe because it just everything the world and God just aligns everything that needs to happen.
Yeah.
Out of 122 applicants, 12 of us got selected, and I was one of the 12.
That's dope.
And then after the 6 month internship, only 11 of us got hired, and I was one of the 11.
That's dope.
And that was literally a shift in like my whole life. Like I never thought I'd be working in a place like that at the time, making 16 an hour, you know, like with like no education basically, you
Yeah.
know. And so it was just crazy. So that's my background with that. That's a continuation of the story. And I worked there for 7 years. I always was the best that I could be. Again, leading by example. You know, I was the youngest guy. The closest guy next to me was like I was 20 at the time when I got hired, and the closest guy next to me was like 35 years old. So there was a big, huge gap between like just people. So I was, it was a little adverse, a lot of adversity.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And a lot that you have to do in order to prove yourself as well.
Yes, agreed, agreed. And so Man, it was just crazy, a crazy time. I was very grateful. I got hired there, and like I said, I just moved up by leading by example, working hard, helping other people.
Mhm.
Like there'll be some older cats, I'll carry all the lines and leads, you know
Yeah.
what I'm saying, all the way up to the fourth level, drop them down. Not even like, I didn't have to do that.
Yeah.
No, nobody was doing that,
Yeah.
So I would just go above and beyond. And then there was a time, you're there for 7 years, you have they call it the misery train, right? The same start doing the same thing over and over. So you start like kind of adapting that mindset of like, like a lot of like I don't want to say too much about that place. I love that place, right? But man, it's like, oh, don't worry, kid, you only have 40 more years of this stuff. And in my head, I'm like, yo,
40 years a long time.
yeah, hell yeah. I was like, I don't know if I could do 40 years, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
so I need to do something. So that's where that was birthed from too, because I didn't want to be there for that long, but life will throw curveballs at you,
Yeah.
and it's crazy, and it's how you overcome them because you know life was good. Like the way I got into real estate, guys, was I called. This was like the next topic of like my life, like the next chapter, is I wanted to do something extra. I wanted to do something more, and so I called a bandit sign. Like I started, I came across bigger pockets.
Yeah.
When way back then, bro. It's
Yeah.
crazy, with Brandon Turner and all these guys, and the
Shout
original.
outs to Bigger Pockets.
Hell yeah, man. And I learned a lot of stuff from them. And I also came across like Ed Milet, Andy Frisella out of when they first started out, and they were dropping gems and
Yeah.
bombs. You know what I'm
I
saying? Like
remember.
those
I remember.
original.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
So
remember.
I learned a lot of stuff, and so I was like, you know what? I'm gonna call a bandit sign. I'm gonna ask to work for free for him. So I
Hmm.
did that, and then I came across this individual. He taught me how to wholesale, and he also put me on the path to home ownership, which I didn't know was possible.
Yeah.
So I worked 3 jobs. I was doing wholesaling with him, putting up bandit signs, like a bunch of signs, bro. Like everywhere was tagged up, and he taught me a lot. And then he had to move away, so I kind of stopped the whole wholesaling thing, and I was able to buy my house at 23 years old.
Congrats.
Thank you,
That's
bro.
dope.
Yeah, I moved my family out the hood. It was crazy because another motivator was because we were living in Providence, and then we was okay. I was married at the time. Person moved into the first floor, and this person was a gang member,
Mhm.
and they shot up the whole house, bro. Sprayed our cars. They emptied like four
Dang.
clips on this house. We moved
Dang.
out that next night. It was July 4th, so literally we thought it was fireworks. I'm still over here
Of
sleeping,
course, because
thinking
all
it's
you hear is pop, 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 pop.
yeah, four clips. Like we go outside, I look at the car, I'm like, what the hell? Like what? These are
Yeah.
bullet holes. I was like, "Where's the cops?" They didn't
Yeah.
call us. Nobody called the cops.
Wow.
Everyone must have thought it was like fireworks or something like that. So
Yeah.
it was just crazy.
Thank God nobody got hurt.
Thank God, bro. Thank God, nobody got hurt. But it was like, all right, we need to get out of here. So we moved into a temporary apartment, and that's when I hustled out. I had my daughter. She was like, I think she was like on her way. No, she must have been like one,
Mm.
like very small. And then bro, it was just hustle, hustle, hustle. Worked moving jobs, U-Haul, which I will never move another person again, or myself. You know
I
what I
hate
mean?
moving. You don't gotta tell me nothing. I hate moving.
Right, bro.
I'd rather just pay somebody to do it
100%, bro.
because that thing's the worst. But shout outs to those who do it for a living though.
Absolutely, that is some hard work, and so it was crazy. Like again, so I ended up closing on my house, and it's like something again that I put out there into the universe
Yeah.
too, because I remember like telling people at work, like, hey guys, like, yo, I'm thinking about buying my first multifamily. They were like, oh no, no, don't buy a multifamily. They're not gonna pay you rent. You're gonna have to deal with evictions, and like just buy a single family or just like rent for now. You're so
Mhm.
young,
Yeah.
So I'm like, nah, man, like I'm gonna get a
Did-
multifamily, and I'm gonna rent it, and everything's gonna go at least okay, I think, right?
Yeah.
And so I ended up closing on the house, and like nobody could believe it. Like back at work, they were
Yeah.
like, "Damn, Chris, like you said you were gonna go do something, and you went and did it."
Yeah.
And like I felt like I was a inspiration for some people there because they were much older than me and they hadn't bought a house yet.
Hmm.
And so it was crazy. So I was just grateful, bro. I was just grateful to be out the hood and not have
Yeah.
to deal with that. You know what I mean? So
Facts.
it was nice. We moved to a nice neighborhood in West Warwick, and that's where my daughter was raised for her, at least up to like 5 years old. 4 years old, and
That's dope because I think for me, Because a lot of things that I want in this world, I speak it into existence. But the thing about speaking things into existence, the real key word that plays a factor in all of it is time.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like, you could say that you want to buy a multifamily home, but that journey to get there, you have to work to buy a multifamily home, right? Or maybe you want to do your first investment project, but you need to raise the capital, find ways to raise that capital. That takes time, right?
100%.
So you could, I truly believe in speaking everything that you want in this world. You have to speak into existence,
Yes.
but just realize that it takes time. But with time comes your actual dreams that comes to life. And that's one thing about me, that I speak a lot of things into my existence. There's things that I wish that could happen immediately,
Yep.
but it doesn't happen immediately because of one reason or another, right?
Yeah.
But eventually it does happen.
Yeah.
And a lot of that, a lot of that comes with, like, I'm a God-fearing person.
Mm-hmm.
Religion hasn't always been a big factor for me, but I've always believed in a higher being of some sort. you
Mm.
know, and as long as I've always prayed to the higher being and just know the things that I want, and I ask for those things that I want, they eventually come into play.
Mm.
So I do get your point in terms of speaking things into existence. But the one thing I would add for myself is that time is also a heavy influence in things coming to life,
Yep.
per se.
Yep.
In regards to that, Chris, which aspect of real estate investment do you consider yourself excelling in?
So I feel like the aspect that I'm excelling in right now is definitely like the new development.
Hmm.
And it's that's pretty much what all we do right now. Besides, like if we want to like value add to like a certain home that comes with a lot. So if there's a house and then we're buying this house and it comes with an extra lot, then we'll flip the house, or in like the last case, we ripped it apart and just put a two family on it, like
Gotcha.
we ripped off the roof, built up the walls, gave it a nice design because we just wanted to do something
I
different.
saw that. That came out really nice, actually. I saw that.
Thank,
That just sold too, right?
yeah, sold, yeah.
Congratulations on that.
Thank you,
You're
bro.
welcome.
Thank you. It's crazy. Like I said in the video that I put out last time, it was 585, and then when my sister saw it, she was like, "We sold the house for 595."
Wow.
I was like, "Wow, oh shit, okay, well,
Congrats.
thank you, bro. Thank We broke records with that thing. It was nice because we set up a nice comp.
Hmm.
The North End is on fire right now.
Mm.
The North End in Providence is on fire right now. There's
Is
another
it?
house selling for 650,000, two family, brand new construction, and that one, that it's crazy. It's crazy. The people want real estate. People don't trust the banks.
Yeah.
They want to put their money somewhere
It's in some form of
or
asset.
some
Correct.
form of asset. There's a lot of education out there, and like guys, purchase your first home. Do whatever you have to do to get this first home. I don't care if you have to like don't sell a kidney, but you know what I'm saying? Like, go out there, work 4 jobs. You know what I mean? Like, just get what you have to get, or pool your money together. I see, like, you have to do it with the right person, though. You know what I mean? Like, that's very key and important. Like, you can't just pool it with anybody. But if there's a day one and you both get behind a mission, and or like several people and start pooling your money together, that's another thing. Like, I don't see that much collaboration happening. And with collaboration comes great growth,
Mm.
with the right individuals. So, um, guys, work hard to at least land that first house. You know what I'm saying? That house that you can feel secure in, that it's your home and it's also an asset. It's bringing you rental income.
Mhm.
Do not buy a single family home for your first home. That's just my suggestion. But, you guys do what you guys want to do. But get that like income producing at least one other unit. If you can get more, get more.
Yeah.
But if and just educate yourself. Like a lot of people ask me, like yesterday we were at the dealership. My brother got a nice truck, dropped 15,000 on them over there.
Congratulations.
Let's go.
Congratulations. Let's do it.
It's crazy because like he was like, oh, I want to put down five. So they were. It's crazy how some people could judge people by the cover. You
Of
never do
course.
that. You never judge
Never.
anybody by their cover. So, young kid, I'm just sitting there letting this thing play out. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just letting him handle his business, and he handle his business. You
Hmm.
know what I'm saying? That was so dope. I would just come in and key places, but, you know, he ended up having to put down 15,000, which is something that they didn't think
That he could do.
that he could do,
Yeah.
and they completely shifted the way they even talk to us. And then, like once
That's
we
crazy.
exchanged Instagrams, um, like they were like bro, like they were like welcoming us, like it was just a different type of attention. Like
Yeah.
the whole dealership was coming up to us. You know what I'm saying? Like it was crazy. And there was like the next question, which I love, that the salesman, the young kid came up to us and was like, "Man, what do you guys do?" Like, yes, thank you. Ask me that because I will explain to you and then I will help you. I will give you some gems so you can take it and put it into place
Yeah.
and then do whatever it is that you have to do to get to your next level.
Yeah.
Everyone has a different journey. That's another thing. Don't look at anyone else's journey. Like, you don't know what that person had to go through or the pain or the work or whatever. Like, and don't envy that. I don't envy absolutely anyone. If I see my boy over there just landed a bunch of lots and like was able to rezone it and just like create massive value add, amazing, bro. How did you do it? Like,
Mm.
yo, that's what's up, bro. Damn, all right. And provide that same value to other people. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Exchange information so that people could also level up. You know what I'm saying? So there's no when you operate and you don't have any envy in your heart, you genuinely want people to win because if he's elevating and he's elevating and that person's elevating, I'm gonna elevate.
Everybody elevates.
Everyone
Exactly.
elevates, bro.
Exactly.
So that's one thing about us, bro. Like, you know, we that's where we operate out of. And it was nice to see my younger brother just like, you know, go and pick up that truck. And he's about to get it on Tuesday, sitting over there.
Congrats. Power move. Congrats.
Yeah, bro.
What steps do you take to acquire the knowledge and skills necessary for you to enter the field of the new construction side?
So, again, just speaking into existence, right? So before I became a real estate investor, I never even flipped a house, and I built a house before I even flipped a house,
Mhm.
which is crazy.
Yeah.
You know, I only wholesaled, and it was a couple of deals. It wasn't nothing crazy, but I was proclaiming that I was a real estate investor before I even was one.
But you have to speak it into existence.
Yes, and you have to step into the part. You
Facts.
know what I'm saying? You have to. So that's what I tell people. And before I became a developer, I was like, I'm gonna become a developer,
Hmm.
and it took time. It probably took like a year, maybe. You know what
Hmm.
I'm saying? Before I even bought my first piece of land.
Yeah.
You know, and then flipped that thing because 2020 happened. And you asked about how do I gain the knowledge? YouTube University.
Yeah.
Like you can literally self educate yourself just on YouTube, and don't be afraid to buy the right course from somebody. It has to be the right person that you've been following for a long time.
Yeah, because there's a lot of bullshit people that be online trying to sell courses
Mm-hmm.
just to break a bread.
A hundred
You know what I
percent.
mean? And you
Yeah.
gotta be you. I truly believe you have to be careful. I just with it's crazy because I don't buy people's courses.
Yep.
I'm more of an observer.
Yep.
I'm like that fly on the wall. I watch and I listen,
Yep. Yep. Yep.
right?
Yeah.
And then I take action when the time comes. You know,
Yes.
and then obviously YouTube University, and then just most important for me, most importantly, is I surrounded myself with people that was doing it, and I just
Yes.
watched and I listened. Once again, I was that fly on the wall.
Yep.
You
Yep.
know, and I asked questions when I needed to ask questions. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I mean? But like, yeah, and I totally feel you on that.
You weren't afraid to ask the questions
I
neither,
would
right?
there was you shouldn't be afraid to ask the questions.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, knowledge is a key factor in whatever we're doing in this world, right?
Yeah.
So like, and there's no such thing as a stupid question. You might think it's stupid, but it really isn't.
Yep.
You know, there's a reason why you're asking is because you don't have the knowledge or you don't know it.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So yeah, there's no such. I ask the questions and I watch and I just always doing research on things. That's just me.
Love it, bro.
You know what I mean?
Love it.
So yeah, nah, it's just crazy. I totally get it.
Like that's a good point that you bring up with the like surrounding yourself with the right people.
Hmm.
Like guys, like there's been three phases of the real level up for me,
Mm.
and all three phases came from actually working um for free for people.
Let's get into that. Talk about that.
So, you know, like the first person, the guy with the bandit sign that I called, you
Yep.
know, for free, worked for him for free. They didn't get paid a dime. Like whenever we did a wholesale, would give me some money, but it wasn't nothing crazy, you know. So the second person, a Jewish family, very well known. I was envisioning myself flipping houses and stuff at the time. So I was, whenever something came up on Zillow that was brand new, I would go and drive by it, try to get in it, get it into the open house. And I was just walking properties. So I was envisioning myself, putting myself out there, walking the properties before I even ever knew how the hell was I even going to buy this. I didn't even know about private money lenders. I didn't even know nothing about that. So It was just like putting it there, putting yourself out there. I mean, I probably knew about private money lenders, but I didn't know one. You know what I'm saying? I
Hmm.
didn't know anyone that could actually help me, like, or would give me the money to do it.
Yeah.
So walking this property, I met somebody there, and I was like, "Hey, man, like, do you mind walking through this property with me and just showing me what you would see, and what you would do in this house, like to flip it?" He's like, "Yeah, man, let's go." So we did it, walked through the whole property, got cool with him, was respectful and all that. That goes a long way. And it started with a simple, "Hey, how's your day going? How
Oh,
you doing?" Like so many people just walk by. So many people don't even say a hello.
goes back to talking.
It goes back to talking, bro. So we walked the property. After it was all done, we got cool, and I was like, "Hey, man, like, would you guys take an intern? Like, I'll work for you guys for free, and I just want to learn." And he's like, "You know what? Let me talk to my partner, and I'll get back to you. What's your number?" Boom. Like 2 weeks later, they called me. He's like, "Hey, can you come in for an interview Wednesday?" It was like the middle week, and I was like, yeah, that sounds good. You know, I'll come in." I prepared, was watching interview stuff on YouTube, was like, you know what I'm saying, dressed up, bought a blazer. Oops, sorry. I bought a blazer, went into the interview, and there's a side note. I was learning how to edit videos, and I was developing a passion for editing and shooting videos, and I learned all that through YouTube, and I got pretty okay at it at the
Yeah.
time, you know. So I spent up all night making this video, but fast forward to the interview, right? It went well. It went very good. But when you're at that level, you're on the go. You're on the go. Like you need someone that's like kind of like already has a lot of knowledge and
Yeah.
can like help you propel. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? You can give them value. They don't want to just carry you along. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So you have to try to develop a skill that they might not have.
Yeah.
You know, so that you can make your way in and prove yourself. And so
Facts.
the interview went well, but it was like, hey, we'll call you in a couple weeks. You know, I don't think they were gonna call me, to be honest. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then like I walk out, and I'm just like walking down this hallway, man. I'm just like I have my laptop in my hand. I'm like, there's no way that I didn't have enough guts to show them this video. Like, I need to go back in there. And so I was like, you know, I'm gonna go back in there. Went back in there,
Dope.
bro.
Dope.
I walked back in there, bro. They were like, "Oh, you again?" I was like, "Yeah, it's me again." I was like, "I gotta show you guys something."
Hmm.
I opened up the laptop. They were like, "Sure, let's see." And then I pressed play, and they watched 30-second clip, and they were like, "Wow." They were like, "That's what we need." He's like, what's your schedule like? Can you
Hmm.
be here tomorrow?
Yeah.
And it went from we'll call you in a couple of weeks to can you be here tomorrow?
Yeah.
You know, so that was a changing point in my life right there because what I started doing for them was making videos and social media and all that kind of stuff. And then they would teach me about like tax liens, tax sales, and like private money lending and just flipping and just
Hmm.
like also being with them, rolling into Rhode Island, you know, just the meetups that we be having, right?
Yeah.
Um, it gave me credibility. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of credibility. How is this guy over there with them? You know what I'm saying? He
Yeah.
must be learning some stuff. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Like, cool, man. Like, and so I feel like that really helped me out because when it came time to do deals, like I met people through them,
Hmm.
or you know what I'm saying. Like it gave me some credibility that I had some background, at least in some of the stuff in real estate.
Yeah.
You know. So yeah, man, that was one phase. The next phase was the developer that I met, and it was through Instagram. He was doing his thing. I had just purchased some pieces of land for very little money, and he was just so surprised that I bought them because he was trying to buy them too.
Oh, but
Yeah, he owned the building next door, so it was just crazy. He's like, how the fuck did you buy these? I was like, persistence,
yeah.
bro. So we got that, and then I met him through Instagram, like I said, and it's crazy. Instagram changing the game, bro. You can have access to certain people you would never have
Yes.
access to, and you could build that rapport with people before even doing business with them.
Yes.
Half of the individuals that I do business with right now are like through Instagram, and like literally there's a trust level there because of the way that I post, the way like I post my day to day. Sometimes I post my food. I don't do that too much no more, but I just post positive stuff. I could be driving out the red light. I could be anywhere, and I just get some thought and I just put it out there on an IG, and it's all positive stuff because that's what I like to operate out of. I like to operate out of a place of gratitude and just
Yes.
positivity. And so you know, like I build the rapport with people even before I meet them, and
Hmm.
that's through social media. And it's the way that I post on my stories. Your day to day, your reality show is your stories.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's your reality show.
Mm.
It should be your stories. And everything that I post is 100% real. I don't go on other people's job sites. I don't do all this crazy stuff. Like literally, I keep it real, you know. And sometimes I have some dark moments. Like, you know, some days like, yo, today I don't feel like getting up and I don't feel like doing this, but it is my duty to get up and do this stuff because
Mm.
we have people depending on us. You know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
not about do I feel like doing it. It's like, no, I have to do this. I have to get up and go. You
Yeah.
know, so it's crazy, bro.
I used to tell people a lot, like when it comes to like social media, um, social media for me is what helped level up my business. I might not have thousands of followers, but people watch the things that I do and how I present myself, and they DM me, asking me questions or want to do business or whatnot. And I remember when I first started doing social media content, yo, it sucked. I'm not even gonna lie, this
Yeah,
shit sucked,
yeah.
you know. But it transcended to where I'm at tonight, today with social media, right? And
You
it's
started, bro. You
I
started.
started, you know, and that's the key factor. Is like you have to start, you know, and yes, it might take time, but that time you're also learning, you're making mistakes, you know, you're going through that whole journey, you know, and but you have to start,
Yes.
and you eventually you're gonna start creating quality that's good enough where people are gonna be like, oh, I believe in what he's doing.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that's for me, that's how I leverage my opportunities,
Yep.
utilizing Instagram and Facebook, understanding our KPI, understanding the algorithms and all that stuff, and being able to read all that,
Yeah.
you know. And for some, you know, social media is a fear factor for them,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, I'm realizing that it's like it's not as easy to put yourself out there. I don't know. Maybe it's
It's
because
not.
it's a muscle that
Yeah.
you grow though. You
Hmm.
know what I'm saying? You have to start. You have to grow that muscle. Like you
Hmm.
have to, like, bro. I don't like watching my videos, man. I cringe half the time. I'm like, fuck, man. You know what I'm saying? That's the reality. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? But I do it. I put
Yeah.
it out there because this is what we're doing. You know, it's a muscle that you have to gain and you have to like just grow. Like not being afraid of what other people think. Like, and that's where when you don't care about what other people think, that's so powerful because and where does that come from? That comes from confidence in yourself. That comes from keeping promises that you made to yourself, you know. And it doesn't always work out, right? Sometimes we
Hmm.
mess up. We make certain promises to ourselves, like we're not gonna do a certain thing, and we do it, right?
Yeah.
It's you have to be willing to like forgive yourself, and be like, I'm gonna be better. I'm
Yeah.
gonna be better. You know, like so literally, bro. Like that's just how I feel. I kind of lost my train of thought there,
No,
but
no, no, no. You're totally fine. What strategies or methods did you use to secure the necessary funds to initiate your very first project?
so my very first project that I was able to buy was land, and I initiated that. I was able to buy that because I had 401k money
Hmm.
that I had saved up, and I cashed it out, even though I had to pay huge penalties. I didn't care, and I sold my house. So I got a divorce. I got a divorce in 2020. You know, we sold the house 25 each, and then I had my 401k. Then I was able to, you know, buy my. I also did a wholesale too, which was nice because it came in at a clutch time, and
Nice.
it gave me the confidence to be like, yo, I'm out this bitch. Like, you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? I don't know if you can swear on here,
No,
but
you're good, man.
all right, cool. I that's just me. You know, so like I was working at Electric Boat, and um, what happened was I had been learning wholesale right from
Hmm.
the previous experience, but also just online. I was able to do a wholesale real quick, and I started coming in late to work and stuff like that. My boss was like, "Hey, man, I have good news and bad news for you." As soon as I walked in, I was like, "All right, what's the good news?" He's like, "The good news is that no, the bad news is that I have to rate you up." I was like, "Perfect, man." I was learning about self accountability,
Yeah.
right? So I was like, "No worries, man. I'll sign wherever you want me to sign." He was so confused. He was like, "You're not gonna fight me on this rate up?" Usually people fight. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? I'm not
Yeah.
signing shit.
Yeah.
So I was like, "Yeah, I'll sign, bro. You tell me where I need to sign, I'll sign." He was just so surprised. He's like, "All right," and I got good news for you. I was like, "All right, what's the good news?" He's like, "The good news is that starting Monday, you get to go back to first shift." I was like, "Chris, that's not good news, bro. It's Friday. You want me to change up my whole life in a weekend? You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?" Like, he's like, I was like, "Chris, you know what? I actually got some news for you." I was like, "This is my 2 weeks." He's like, "I'm out. I'm
Wow.
leaving." And bro, like his whole structure, like his whole like
Everything
demeanor, everything
changed.
changed.
Yeah.
Like nobody leaves Electric Boat.
Hmm.
Like, are you sure about this decision? I'm 100% sure about this decision. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
it was just like it was crazy, bro, because nobody believed it. People would come up to me and just like, "Are you really leaving? Are you really leaving?" You
Yeah.
know, and it was like, "Yeah, no, I'm leaving, man. I'm leaving." And it just happened, bro. I just left after 2 weeks. They actually gave me another week because they usually walk you out the same day.
Yeah.
You give you 2 week
Oh, trust
notice.
me, I've been through that situation. They walked me out. They were like, pack your stuff and leave. I'm like,
Yeah,
all right,
yeah.
let's go.
But they kept me there for a week because
Yeah,
they had a lot of love for me. You know what I'm
that's what's
saying?
up.
Like I definitely earned my respect there.
That's
You know
what's
what I
up.
mean? So it was cool. It was cool. And just seeing all those people now, all those people now are hitting me up because like there's certain people that come to me like, hey, like my grandparents' home or somebody in their family like we want to sell it, you know, or
Hmm.
whatever, and they trust me.
Yeah,
You know, from building that rapport, I talk to absolutely almost. I know at least like 70% or 60% of Electric Boat because I
oh,
absolutely talked to everyone and I genuinely wanted to get to know who you were.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Conversation. I'm gonna work here for a long time. At the time, I was thinking that, right? But I need to know you, bro. Like,
yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like, talk to people. Do not be afraid to talk to people. Just say hello and just start a conversation. The other day, I met, um, what's it called when there's an individual that uh, is representing the United States and then lives in another country, and
D-
the consulate,
dip-
a diplomat, right? Like a,
I think so.
I forgot what the hell it's
Listen,
called.
I'm not a politician,
I know, bro.
so
I know.
bear with me.
um, oh man, that word's gonna kill me right now, bro. Can you Google that real quick?
It's probably a diplomat.
Yeah, like a diplomat.
Yeah.
But I was having food. I was having some food
Hmm.
downtown, and this guy sat right next to me. I was at the bar
Yeah.
area, and literally, we just, hey man, if you're gonna sit down next to me and I'm eating, I at least got to know your name.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, I'm Kirk. And then like, oh, how's it going, Kirk? And then we just started talking, bro. And he
Hmm.
ended up being, Kirk Wagner guy is like this with Obama,
Oh
like
wow.
just like crazy. He came up here from Miami, Florida, lives in Miami, and he was up here to see his son playing a band in Pawtucket.
Cool.
You know what I'm saying? So he was like, "This is a very interesting city." He's like, "It looks like a movie set out here." I was like, "Yeah, man, it is kind of crazy, right?" And so we just kicked it all night, bro. And he was just telling me stories, bro. This guy was the head of like you could Google him.
Hmm.
The head of like so many different companies, made millions of dollars, bro.
Damn.
He was he was stationed in Singapore, Egypt, all these different places,
Yeah.
and like he was the head guy there. You know what I'm
Wow.
saying? So it was just crazy some of the stories that he told me, and again, that relationship came from a simple hello.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And like when we went down to Miami, he took care of us.
Yeah.
You know, so it was just wild,
That's
bro.
dope.
From a simple conversation, bro.
That's dope. That's dope. What does Method Invest?
So Method Invest, like the actual name came from like Electric Boat
Hmm.
background. Method. There was a methods book for the electricians, and in this book that was like the Bible for electrical. You know,
Nice.
so that overrode anything that was in the blueprints.
Gotcha.
So that's where method came from, and then a certain method of doing things, right?
Hmm.
So and then invest was just like investments. So,
Nice.
and that's just a company that I started, and we just focus heavily on development.
Nice. Now, in terms of all the properties that the new constructions that you have going up right now, what does that net worth look like right now for you?
Oh, and it's crazy. It's a lot. It's a lot. Bro, it's crazy too because like I'm uh, like to even think about it, bro. But you know what? Screw it. Let's put it out there. Like we have like probably like 1.8 just in like land, and then that translates to like 4.5 million after everything is built and sold.
You guys hear that, right?
So it's
And it does not mean it's money in the bank.
no.
It just what it's just basically what you have
Hmm.
um that could transcend or that you could liquidate to me, I think, over the course of time, and that's a way of having some form of wealth, for many people, so just being able to hear that, like, that's a lot of land, per se,
Yeah.
right? I'm not sure in terms of quantity what that looks like, but still just 1.8 million, you say,
Yeah.
in terms of land value.
Hmm.
That's solid. And then then transition that over to, once you build properties
To
on that,
equity.
what that actually looks like in equity. You know what I mean? That's
Yeah.
that's amazing, just to know that itself. How many construction projects do you have currently on the way, and what does that portfolio look like for you? Singles, multis, commercial. What does that look like for you overall?
So, pretty much like right now, that is 16 pieces of individual lands and
Hmm.
stuff like that. Project 16 current and all in different phases. And then we have, I mean, we picked up 60 acres. That's not counting like the 60 acres of land that we picked up in Connecticut right now.
Hmm.
And that one we're building 50 houses, duplexes on that. So like,
Solid
like that's a whole separate
project of its own.
project from this. Yeah. So
Oh,
that's not even counting that.
sheesh.
So that one right there, that's the big enchilada. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
Like, so we've been down there in Connecticut a lot. Driving down that ride is crazy, but we just put on some like music or podcast and
mhm. Just take that ride.
just take that ride, meet up with the people down there. Very receptive town, very open to economic development, which is great. Like,
Mhm.
make sure like the people, the building and zoning people are great. The economic developers great. The mayor's great. They want growth. They want more taxes, and so we're working to best fit their needs while still helping us out. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
So it's a win-win situation. When it's a win-win situation for everyone, it goes far, bro.
Solid. What's your ongoing strategies and plans for expanding your real estate portfolio in the future?
Like, first of all, getting an office, like, that is long overdue. Like, we need a damn office. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
simple as that, bro. And it's like, sometimes like we make we say certain things like, man, should we get this? Like, it's another expense, this is not, but
Yeah.
you don't realize the amount of leveling up that you can do in this space.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's an investment. We don't plan on making any less money this year, do we?
Hmm.
So let's get the fucking office.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, let's just do it. And so something will come of that. And it's crazy because I'm getting the office in the same building where I first started.
That's dope.
You know what I'm
And I
like?
think I've been to that. Was that office that I probably met you at?
Yeah.
Because I know that was probably like the second or third time that I met you. Because I wanted to sit down and talk to you because I saw you doing your thing. So it's
Oh, not
oh,
there.
oh not there.
No,
All
no,
right.
no, no. Somewhere else, somewhere
All right.
else.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
So it's cool, bro. It's a nice open space. We didn't want too many rooms. We looked
Yeah.
at a bunch of spaces that were like individual offices and stuff like that. We didn't want that. We wanted a nice big open space. If we want to build another separate office, we will. But we just want a nice space where we can all talk to each other and game plan and
Yeah.
like freaking mastermind. Like, that was very important for us. But I put a podcast studio out there, like in a corner somewhere.
Hmm.
You know what I mean?
That's
Like,
awesome.
yeah, bro. So that's kind of like our thinking behind that.
That's awesome. That's awesome. What's your perspective on the current market condition right now, and what advice or insights would you offer to aspiring investors regarding the current market who's looking to come into the current market condition?
So, man, people have been waiting for this market to crash for years,
Yeah.
right? There's always like the big gloom and gloom thing, whatever, you know what I'm saying? I don't operate like that.
Mhm.
Like, I'm just in the day to day. We put away money in reserves in case anything. Like, this is very important for you to do that. And just like make the right moves. And so like I don't operate out of a place like what happens if the market crashes and like all this is worth like half or whatever. I just don't. You know what I'm saying? Like, we will get to that moment when that moment comes.
Yeah.
And we do have to plan out a little bit for sure, 100%, because we want to limit, limit our losses or whatever,
Yeah.
right? But man, I'm just so focused on getting these houses built as soon as possible. And either way, right now, our strategy is to keep. Like, we want to keep everything. Like, we
Nice.
no longer want to sell. Like, like we've built up enough capital. Um, like, these all these pieces of land that we have, like, they're all bought cash,
Nice.
cash, no hard money lender, and then we go and get the construction money on
Hmm.
on this stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's very important. If you want to get your first development, go buy the land cash, straight cash. Like, borrow from Auntie Susie and like Uncle Nick. Like, get them together, tell them what your plan is, and be like, yo, we're gonna do this shit, and I'm gonna make you this amount of money, and let's fucking go. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Like, do that. Do whatever you have to. Whoever's in your sphere, go to that person, educate yourself, reach out to a person like me or anybody else in this field that you want to emulate, and just be like, I'll work for you for free, or I'll bring you value, or hey, check out this piece of land. Because sometimes good deals come up on Zillow and we don't even have a chance to see them. Like,
Yeah.
just send them my way. You send them my way, you're at least guaranteed if we close on it $5,000
Mm.
and a referral fee.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Like, literally. So, um, That's how we operate, bro. And like that's what you guys should try to do. Like try to get your first deal, try to get a pool of people, educate yourself, know enough terminology, sell yourself to your people, and have them pull in some money, and then do right by them. You tell them you're gonna give them a certain amount back, give them a certain amount back, even if that means you taking a less of a profit. But guess what? You're able to do that again and learn so many lessons, and then the next one you're gonna make some money. And now
Mm.
they're gonna trust you, and they're gonna tell their people in their sphere, and then they're gonna be like, "Yo, take my money, man. Do something with it." You
Yes.
know what I'm saying? So when you stand, there's no one in this field that could say that I ever burned them,
Mm.
ever. I've actually had to pay $10,000 on my second build, and we were building for somebody. I had to pay five. The other person had to pay five because the lumber shot up. We
Yeah.
didn't have a strong contract, and we had to finish this house. I came out 5,000. He came out 5,000 to finish this house for someone that then had $110,000 in equity.
Wow.
Can you imagine that,
That's
bro?
crazy.
So, but we did right by that person.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And now
So,
that person will always remember that.
100%.
How long did it take? So you're in the new construction, new development space. How long does it actually take from beginning to end to complete a new development?
So permits about a month,
Yeah.
and that's because what we do is we before we even when we purchase and sell it, right? We have an agreement. Excuse me.
Very good.
So when we lock up a property on the purchase and sales agreement, we're already lining up our surveyors to go out there and do it. So we're taking a gamble of spending $2,500 to get the surveyor out there and like take the measurements and start drawing up a plan. So by the time that we close on the property, we have a site plan.
Hmm.
Hey, sometimes we don't close on the property. We might not get that $2,500 back.
Yeah.
However, if we close on the property, which most of the time we really do, like I don't even think we've had a situation where we don't. Um, but we are ready. And the site plan is the most important thing that you need to get the ball rolling on it
Mm.
and all that aspect because you need to take that to three different agencies: sewer, Providence Water, and then the city.
Yeah.
And from that point, that gets everything rolling. So you're rolling day one. If you wait to close and then get the survey, you're out a month,
Mm.
and then you're out another month for
The bill.
permits
Gotcha.
and all that kind of stuff. So we try to make it so that it's 1 month worth of permits because while the purchase and sales agreement was being title search, all that, we had the survey already being made.
Hmm.
So by the time we close, we have that site plan. We start applying for permits immediately. That takes a month, and then the build out is 4 months construction, 5 months. Like
So the goal is to basically plan ahead.
plan ahead,
Don't
bro.
plan after. Gotcha.
Yeah,
Gotcha. So for all you inspiring investors that's coming in, as long as you have your I's dotted and your T's crossed, plan ahead so you can be able to execute a lot faster. Time is everything in this industry when it comes to whether a flip or new construction, right? Would you say?
time, bro. Time is more important than money. Like you know what I'm saying? Like it's crazy, bro, in every aspect. And yeah, man, time. Even if I have to pay sometimes a little extra to motivate somebody to get something done faster, that's fine.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because you want to make sure this project gets done because it's going to cost you another interest payment.
Yeah.
So that interest payment is running up.
Yeah.
You know,
That's no joke.
yeah. So the way that new construction uh hard money, private money works, at least with the people that we work with,
Yeah.
is that so we buy this individual this piece of land cash, and then we go and take out a loan on it, a construction loan on that piece of property. We use the property as collateral, so we no longer have to put another down payment.
Mhm.
And then they give us like 250, 300, whatever. Then we have to finish it up with our money.
Listen, he's dropping gems. This is what the platform, the network's all about. Go ahead, Chris.
Yep, yep. And so at that point, when you go sign and close the deal, they might give you like a little soft cost money, like 20,000 right then and there. And the cool thing about new construction loans is that you don't have to pay interest on the whole loan amount, like on the 250 or the 300. You just have to pay on what you borrow,
Yeah.
which is dope. So we're only paying interest on the 20,000. So that's like $200. You know what
Mhm.
I mean? So it's good. As you start progressing in the project, that payment starts increasing because you're borrowing more
Yeah.
money. But it's cool because it's at first it's like 200, month two 400, month three like 600, like month it starts increasing a
Yeah.
lot. Probably month three is like 1,500,
Hmm.
month four is like 2,000. Because we're
Gotcha.
near the end,
Yeah.
and then it depends on how long you take to close. That $2,300 interest payment is is gonna be going for, right? So it
Yeah.
depends on the closing. And that's another lesson right now too, man. I've never had a problem with any closings. Most of the loan officers that I deal with are really great. I mean, the realtors that we work with are great. It's not their fault. But the other side's loan officers, all I can say is like verify these
Income.
motherfuckers. Yo, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo,
Verify
it's
their
crazy,
income.
bro. Like, damn,
People don't
man.
understand how important that is. That's
It,
so important. That's
it,
I've been through all that. But go ahead. I don't even want to talk about that because I've been through so much headache with that.
right?
Yeah.
I've never had to sign so many extensions in my life. Yo, I'm telling you, bro, this shit's crazy, bro. I was like, another extension, man. Like, no, let's put this thing back on the market. You know what I'm saying? Like, I
Do
don't
you
even
consider
care.
do you consider that be one of the challenges that you deal with as a new construction, or are there other multitudes of challenges that you deal with?
There's more challenges. So like that is one aspect, and I've never actually dealt with that. We've actually always had nice, clean transactions, and it lines up perfectly. Like the alignment, just like the CO. It's our job to get the
CEO,
CO,
of
which
course.
is a certificate of
Yeah.
occupancy, and that basically that bank needs that so that they can like issue the loan, right? So that the house is like 100% done and inspected, right, by the city. But I would say the toughest part is just lining everything up. Don't pay contractors too much up front. Do labor only prices. You buy the material. The only people that you should probably pay material and labor is an electrician.
Hmm.
That's about it. I'm not going out there and buying wire, bro. I don't know what you need. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like I don't know the breakers. I don't know all that. Have them give you a material and labor price. But other than that, every other trade you should be sourcing your own materials and just getting labor prices from them. On top of that, do not give people too much money up front because then you're going to be chasing them. The situations right now where people, man, like we just dealt with, so I was trying to help someone out. I'm not naming no names, but
Hmm.
unfortunately, this person got taken for a ride. Like, this individual handed another person $20,000 in cash up front, no
Sheesh.
contract. Like, there's so many things wrong with that. First of all, don't pay if you think that you're gonna motivate somebody by paying them in full. Oh, I'm gonna pay them in
Never.
full so that they can like get this job done.
Yeah.
They'll be happy. It's not happening, bro. They ain't coming back. They probably ain't gonna show up. You know what I'm saying? So no, give them
Would you say a third or a half?
like a third.
Yeah. Per
And you,
per per, per stage, right?
yep.
Yeah.
So and the reason why it's a third is because it might be a half if it's material too,
Hmm.
because then they have to go buy material
Up
and pay
front.
their
Yeah.
guys. You know what I'm saying? But you're given a labor only price. There's no what are you gonna go buy, bro?
Hmm.
Like I'm not gonna give you half for what? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, come in, accomplish some work, and if it's a new relationship, sometimes they want money on day one,
Hmm.
which is understandable.
Yeah.
So cut that third in half, right, and
Hmm.
then give them some money, But if it's an ongoing relationship, because people's situations change, right? Don't get comfortable with people. People's situations change, and you never know. So always stick by your principles. Always stick by your lessons, and don't loosen up
Hmm.
because people get comfortable with people, right? And if you have that rapport, like you think, oh, this guy's not gonna screw me over, but next thing you know, you give him half now, and the guy's you're chasing the guy.
Yeah.
Come back, come back, come back.
Yeah.
And the chase is on. And you don't want that, bro. You want to make sure that you operate out of a place where you're ahead.
Hmm.
Unfortunately, you have to do that in this
Yeah.
business, right? And then at the end of the day, you pay the person in full once they're done with the job. Boom, and you go on your merry way.
Nah, cool. What are three key essential tips or secrets that you believe aspiring investors should know?
Mm. Tips and secrets, right? So, um, maybe like before I would have answered with like it's just as aspiring investors. I probably would in the past I would have answered that with technical stuff about real estate and stuff like that. But to be honest with you, and even for me today, this is what I strongly believe in: is self mastery. You need to master yourself and believe in yourself that you can actually do this before you even go try to attempt to do real estate. You know what I'm saying? So your mindset is everything because you speaking into existence is everything. You learning is everything. Like self mastery on all levels. Gym, number one, foundational. Go to the fucking gym, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like get in there and actually work out. You don't know what to do? There's plenty of YouTube videos on it. There's plenty of programs that are like, $6 a month. Hop on that, track your stuff, eat well, and read. Read, learn, listen to Sadiq's
Yes.
podcast. You know what I mean? Like he's
Thank
bringing
you.
great value. and just like master yourself first. Like once you do and believe in yourself, and once you do that, get rid of your limited belief. Once you do that, everything else will line up. Everything else, like deals, people, because here's the thing: like you walking into a room, you're all like, looking good, and people want to talk to a person like that. If you walk in there, you're not really looking like you're looking like a slob, like you know what I mean. Like it's just not attractive, bro. Like you need to go there, present it as your best self, and just meet absolutely everyone and have true, genuine conversation with everyone with positivity. And you'll be surprised the doors that open up because you're mastering yourself. You know what I'm saying? The doors, the people will look at you and be like, this dude's solid. Like, look, he works out. You could tell he has some discipline. Like, you know what? What's he about? Let's
Mm.
see. And so the connection starts there, the conversation starts there, and then, one thing leads to another. You get introduced to another person. I can't tell you the amount of alignment that has happened to us. Like it's just crazy, bro. Like the opportunities that have opened up because of meeting one person, them introducing me to someone else, and then like being that solid person that you know keeps their word and does what they're gonna does what they say they're gonna do. Like so much comes from that, so much respect and so much opportunity. People want to learn and work, and it's just crazy, bro.
How does Christian Vargas define success in his own terms?
So for me, success, it's not even the money, it's not even the assets. Before, 20-year-old me would have told you that, but now, and of course, right? Like, oh, now you got something. You know what I mean? Like now you're saying that, right?
Mm.
So I'm not saying like don't chase that. You know what I'm saying? Like if if that's what's gonna motivate you to get here, then do it, right? But for me, success is like just enjoying what you do every day, because life is short. You're not taking any of this stuff with you. This is all staying behind. Denzel Washington said it. Denzel Washington said, you never see a U-Haul behind a hearse.
Mm-hmm.
Like one of those cars, like
Yeah.
the funeral things. And it's true. You're not taking nothing with you. Live every day out of a place of gratitude and be grateful for what you have, and more will come your way when you like, just work at exactly what it is that you want to do. So, and just family, like spend time with your family. Like for me, my team is my family too. Like my brother and my sister, they both work very close with me. My father, he joined with us after the fact, and it just was able to. We was able to expand even further once he joined us. But we already had the train going.
Yeah.
Like, and then we were like, hey, this is what we're doing. You want in on this? You know what I mean? Let us know. And so that was cool. That helped us elevate as well. And so yeah, man, it's been a crazy ride and journey. But like I said, success is different to everyone, and man, you'll have billionaires out there that are depressed and like literally on the verge of like killing themselves. So it's a very important point, because like you think, oh, once I have this, I'll be happy. Once I have this amount of money in the bank and I have this car, I'll be freaking happy, and like my whole life is gonna change. And you get that, and let me tell you something, it's not what you think. It might last for like a couple hours, you know what I'm saying? But after that, it's literally like you wake up the same,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? And like that feeling goes away fast. So in reality, what you really need to do is just like I said, work on yourself, focus on being the best person. We got given a beautiful like piece of equipment here, a body that
I
we need
call
to.
I call it our temple.
Our temple. I love that. I love that. We got given a temple that we need to take care of. And with this temple, we can take care of the people around us and always do good by people. Always, like, bro, my mom, like, I brought her in. I moved her into one of my apartments, and, like, literally, she has a whole garden going. Like, bro, we have so many. You want some tomatoes, bro? We got too many tomatoes, bro.
Yo,
Like,
pass them down. I'll take
yo,
them.
bro, like it's crazy. She's growing these big tomatoes, bro. But it was amazing because I'm not that close to my mom, right? She left when I was 7, and like we talk on and off, very short conversation. But once I found out where she was living and how she was living, I was like, you know what? There's no way that I'm gonna let her live like this. Like, you know what I'm saying? I brought her flowers, and I didn't know where she was living, so she gave me the address. I got there, and I was like, what? Like, no, like immediate action needs to be taken. You know what I'm saying? So took her out of there, put her in a nice apartment. She's happy, bro. You know, I'm
Nice.
happy, and like like it gave her a purpose with the garden and
Yeah,
stuff like that. You know what I mean? And she loves her roses. She has so many roses out there. It's beautiful, bro.
that's
But
what's up.
it lightens up the house. Like it's amazing. She takes good care of that, and it's just amazing to see. Even the Bible says like honor your mom and your dad, and when you do things out for them and you don't expect nothing in return, God rewards you. God rewards you. Like it's so crazy. Like I can't even explain. Like and even like giving, right? When you give and you don't expect nothing back, it comes back tenfold. Like it just does. And um, man, a quick little story. Um, I go to this church, Waters Church, and they were doing some mission trip for Peru and stuff like that. And I remember, um, hey, here's the Cash App. Um, and so that was stuck in my mind for some time, right? And then like one morning I just woke up and I sent $500 to the Cash App, right, out of nowhere, right? And then a week later I call up my lawyer and I'm like, he's working these real estate deals that are complicated, and so I'm like, hey, what do I owe you? Excuse me. I'm like, hey, what do I owe you? And he's like, oh, Chris, you owe me um what was it, 2,500 for this and 3,000 for that project. I was like, all right, cool. And he's like, but you know what? Just pay me 2,500, and I'm gonna waive the other 3,000.
That's solid.
Isn't that crazy though,
That's
bro?
solid.
What lawyer does that,
Yeah,
bro? Nobody forgives
that's
even five
solid.
dollars, bro.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
facts.
saying?
That's
Like, go to the
solid, man.
store and you're missing $2. They're not
Yeah,
gonna give you the item.
no facts.
And it's just like, yo, I didn't expect nothing in return. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? I woke up and I just felt that in my heart. Like, you know what? Like, there's people that are gonna go do some good stuff with this. Boom. Not even a week later, look how God rewards me. Literally $3,000 off.
That's dope.
So it's just stuff like that, bro. Right now when we leave right here, me, my brother, and my dad, there's a certain individual that came to work with us for like a few days, because he just wanted some extra work. This person ended up having is going through cancer. Young dude, 33 years old, has a 10-year-old daughter, and when we found out about that yesterday, it hit me
Mm-hmm.
because my daughter went through cancer, at
Sorry to
two
hear
years
that.
old.
Damn.
So like, that's a part of the story that I didn't tell, but that changes you as a person, as a man. That changes you as a father. The way you look at life.
Yeah.
There is no bad days. Those were bad days.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? There's people literally getting news right now that they're about to die, and you're over here like, you know what I'm saying? Like just being ungrateful for your life right now. No, man. Like you got a house, you got a roof, you got food. Be grateful. Go out there to nature, work out, do whatever you have to do. So back to what we're about to do. We're about to go pick up my dad. We're about to go to Walmart and buy like a month worth of stuff, toilet paper, everything you can name of, and we're just gonna like bring it right to his house, and just like here you go.
If you guys need my help, just let me know. I got you guys. That's a powerful movement, man. How can people get a hold of you, Chris, in terms of reaching out to you for advice, to talk to you if they try and get started in the business? Because this platform is the network. The goal is to connect individuals like yourself to those who's looking to create wealth for themselves as well. So how can they reach out to you?
So the best way you can reach out to me is just Instagram. I will be launching a website and just like trying to get like an email list and all that stuff. That's stuff we're actively working on. But just a DM, Instagram, Method Investment. I'm sorry, Method Invest. And I will say this, guys. I get like, if I show you my inbox, I get so many messages, and then like literally even my text messages are like insane. So stuff will get buried, and then I'm
Yeah.
driving, and then like I got three people calling me for this, that, like just know, like I wish I could show you guys, and I will show you guys my behind the scenes. But every day for me, it's like, and then I'm a father, so I'm a very active
Yeah.
father. I pick up my child all the time, and I try to give her like that quality time, And so like it's not easy to juggle everything. And I have a team, and I'm so grateful for them because my sister's a beast. My brother's a beast. He's If I didn't
Shout
have
out to
them,
your sister and your bro, man. I
yeah.
met your sister, met your brother. He's here with us right now. So shout out to you guys because I see you guys behind the scenes doing your thing, and I also see them on social, helping you out and stuff like that. So mash extreme shout out to your family, man, because
Thank
I
you,
know it
bro.
takes a village to not only just raise a child but also to build an entity.
Yeah,
So shout
bro.
outs.
Thank you. I appreciate that, bro. Because honestly, shout out to them, like you said, man. Like surround yourself by good people. I'm very lucky that it is my family. So
Yeah.
each one of us knows that we would never take a dollar. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? So the level of trust factor is there, and yeah, man, I man, we've been able to level up because we were literally what, Friday night just game planning in our living room, just like and your space is everything. Like I'm waiting for like I have my rentals and stuff like that, and I'm waiting to build my house. I'm building my
Mm.
house now that I'm gonna be
Dope.
living in for like the next 5 years, maybe. And I just needed like a nice clean open space, so I rented an apartment, bro, a
Mm.
loft. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So moved into there, and man, that whole environment of like just in a loft, bro. We've been getting so much work done. Like it's
That's
just
what's up.
crazy. So
Cause open, you could think freely.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's amazing. So like literally just it's fun to work.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like so your environment matters a lot, you know?
Yeah.
So that's very foundational. Like, there's a lot of young young entrepreneurs, young guys that, want to get into this space. It really just starts with yourself, like I said. Self-mastery, clean up your room, the foundational stuff, guys. Like clean yourselves up, and when you go to start putting yourself in rooms. Like, what's the quickest way to put yourself in rooms? Rhode Island real estate meetups, right? And then when you go there, dress up so that it's solid.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you look good. You got to dress the part. Us being minorities, you're already being looked at a certain way, and that's the
Yeah.
reality. So how do you counter that? Put on a blazer. You know what I'm
Look good.
saying? And all that stuff. So yeah, guys.
You guys know what it is. Your boy Sadiq Davies, host of the network podcast, where I connect individuals that's doing big things with those that's looking to tap into doing big things, and that's creating generational wealth for yourself or some form of wealth, and also just for those who's looking to learn about something different, something new, and see what's out there, But if you guys ever want to try to tap into me, reach out to me. You guys can follow me on Instagram, Sadiq Davies, SADIQDAVIES, or you can follow the network podcast, which is THENETWRK.co, meaning community, right? Because that's what we're about. Until next time, it's your boy. Catch you guys on the flip side.